Hey all, and welcome to my review, my Brawl hack review of Masteklo's Shadow final version. This is by far the most downloaded hack on the Brawl Vault, having over 19,000 downloads, and it's probably going to reach 20,000 at some point. It has more downloads than there are hacks on the Brawl Vault, just to give you an idea of how many there are. And whew, I made my own Shadow in response to this one. So I will honestly try and keep this fair and not too biased, because, you know, I made mine in response to this. So you may think that, oh, I'm just going to hate on it because it's not mine and I'm jealous. No, I'm trying to be fair and constructive with these reviews. Anyway, on to Shadow. Let me start off with a little quick history lesson. In the beginning, there was the Chaos Control Shadow back in about October 2009, made by Jose Gallardo 89, I believe his name was called. And this was a pretty cool PSA back then, because this is when it was all new, making movesets, stuff like that. You know, it had a few changed attacks, like cool graphic effects, item spawning and taunts, even though one of them was randomly a Pokeballs taunt, which made no sense whatsoever, and people complained about that one. And they said to change it for a lightsaber because that made a bit more sense. Anyway, after that, in March 2010, Masteklo released his version 0.8 of his Shadow hack, which was pretty damn groundbreaking. It had a new model, this awesome looking model that actually looked like Shadow rather than just a retexture. It was much more developed. It had brand new moves, new animations. It was really cool, and it just made me go, wow, this is great. And then 9 months later, December, he released the final version. As you would expect from me, I was really excited. And then I found there weren't that many changes to the PSA, despite there being some criticisms with it, and despite him getting feedback. You know, there weren't any changes to the balance, or yeah, it was almost a bit disappointing. And this is why I made my one in a sort of response, so that I could, you know, add these new things, improve upon the balance. And I still kind of failed there, but you know, I tried. But yeah, that's basically the history lesson. And then from that point onwards, Shadow has been the most overrated and overpopulated character on the Brawl Vault. He has about, I kid you not, he has about 60 model hacks. A lot of them are tiniest edits that you wouldn't even notice. They're pointless models just to get downloads, and it's kind of sad, really. But that's Shadow. In this pack, he's made a new pack. This is where I'll give credit where credit is due. He included new recolors, a new model, revamped the voice pack, which I don't show in this video, but it is there. And the voice pack is probably the star of the show. I'd say it's the best feature in this Shadow pack. Definitely. Especially, this is when, just before Swans came out, he did this voice pack, so it was a pretty big deal. So I give you a lot of credit there, Masteklo. Anyway, that was the running animation. It's Shadow's skating running animation is pretty good. My one nitpick is that the turning could be like not Sonic's turn. Now this is the jump animations. These are nice, but there's one huge problem. His aerial mobility and speed are ridiculous. Not even Yoshi has this kind of aerial mobility. Like look at this. I'm able to control myself in the air so easily, and it allows Shadow to dominate the air, and this is a big balance problem in my opinion. Now onto the attacks. Oh, no, not yet. Now onto the dodges, sorry. These Chaos Control dodges, super fast. They're pretty cool, pretty flashy, but they're ridiculously fast. Now onto the attacks. The AAA combo. It's this 3-hit kicking thing, based off the first punch, the third kick, and the up tilt from Sonic's moveset, which is one of the things I need to bring up. A lot of the moves are just Sonic's recycled, which is kind of annoying. The main problem with the AAA combo is the fact that the second kick doesn't come out properly. It drags along the ground. The forward and up tilts are exactly the same. There's been literally no changes from Sonic's. And the down tilt is this trip kick, which is one of the moves that I really liked. It was nice and balanced, well thought out. You know, it felt right. The dash attack is Sonic's old forward air. It does high damage and comes out really quickly, and it has high knockback too. So it needs a bit of fixing. And one of the huge problems with this is that the hitbox lasts for so long. It lasts for the entire animation. Like look, at the very end, even when his head just taps your opponent, it does damage. Forward smash is basically the same as Sonic's, just different charging animation, and it does more damage. Up smash is his forward throw kick, and it's his strongest smash, and also probably his slowest. I think that makes more sense as a forward smash personally, but you know. And then the down smash, this chaos teleportation kick. It's fast, but there's a glaring flaw with it. Look at this. The range is absolutely pathetic, and it's not very strong either. Like, I'm right in front of his face and I'm not hitting him with this. Yeah, that's a bit disappointing. Anyway, onto the aerials. His aerial game is killer. The neutral air is pretty much Sonic's, except for one thing, and that's the fact that the sex kick properties were removed. So it always does 11 damage in the same knockback throughout the entire move. Now this is his most broken aerial by far, his forward air. Both hits connected does 18%, it's a good spike, it comes out fast, and it's just a generally really good move. Too good, in fact, definitely. The back air is pretty much the same, except it's generally better than Sonic's. It feels a bit quicker, but that's probably because of the fact that, you know, Shadow's air mobility is ridiculous. But it just generally feels a bit quicker and more useful. Sonic's back air was always good in my opinion, but this is good as well. The up air is exactly the same as Sonic's. I think it has generally more combo potential than Sonic's, because there are more situations in which you can use it. And now onto the down air. It's this spinning ball drop thing. It comes down really quickly, except there's one glaring flaw. It has no end lag. None. No end lag whatsoever. If you're clumsy with it, you can end up SDing yourself, and you probably will. It's meant to be a high risk, high reward move, but if you use it off the side of the stage, it won't kill them. One of the most broken things about the Shadow is the fact that he has barely any landing lag on any of his aerials at all. Especially his forward air, that, like his down air, has no landing lag. His only one that has substantial is his up air. This is his neutral B, the Chaos Blast. It's a slow startup move with high damage, fixed knockback, and a stupid amount of range. This hitbox is crazy disjointed. It's half the stage length. It's twice the size of the graphic. It doesn't really make sense. I just think that the size of that should definitely be toned down. This is a side B. I don't know what this is. It's just this stunning move. I'm not gonna lie, I've never liked this move. Even in version 0.8, I thought this was a move that should be changed for something like Chaos Spear. It's extremely abusable. It wasn't really well thought out. It doesn't really work. And it links, if you can do it when your momentum is completely still, it links perfectly with this forward smash, and you can get quite an easy kill on high percentages. His up B is the Chaos Control Warp. Pretty standard. It goes quite high, and it doesn't put him completely helpless. This was a well thought out move in my opinion. I like this move, definitely. And his down B is Chaos Control. It slows down time momentarily, and I mean very momentarily. It's not very abusable, but one thing that does kind of, you know, I thought could have been better is the fact that there's no actual Chaos Emerald. He's not holding a Chaos Emerald. It's just a flashing light in his hand. You know, that could have been a nice touch if he added a Chaos Emerald. His throws are all the same except for his down throw, which has been turned into this fiery kick, as you shall see here. This is one of the better moves in the moveset, definitely. I like this move, and it's why I kept it in my Shadow. It's a great combo tool. It does good fair damage, and it's just a nice move. These are his taunts. A couple of them were recycled, actually, but, you know, whatevs. And this is his final smash, Super Shadow. It functions exactly the same as Super Sonic, except, well, it's Super Shadow's model, which isn't that hard to do, and it's absent of the graphics, which is a bit of a shame, because it decreases the epicness of the final smash quite a bit, in my opinion. But anyway, on to the battle. Now, overall, I think I've been quite hard on this Shadow hack. as I said, the version 0.8 was groundbreaking. It was really quite amazing. It deserves a lot of credit there because, you know, it was the first Shadow. It was a big deal. It was the first good Shadow. I mean, it deserves a big deal on that front. A lot of credit on that front. But at the same time, you know, this final version, it seems almost like a lazy attempt just to get downloads. And I know Masaklo's a nice guy and he wouldn't do that, but I just wish there was more with it, and that's why I made my Shadow moveset. Now, everyone's allowed to have their own preferences. I don't mind if you prefer this moveset to mine. In fact, that's not surprising. People are allowed to have their own opinions. But yeah. Do I think this deserves the 19,000 downloads it has? To be completely honest, no, I don't. It deserves about 5,000 or between 5 and 10,000 because, as I said, back in March it was groundbreaking, and you know, people should have respect for that. But a lot of the animations now, by today's standards, a lot of the moves, the balance isn't great. You know, the moves, some of them are rather uninspired. It could have just been better thought out. I mean, there aren't that many properly custom animations in this at all. And this final version was released and updated at a time where, you know, custom animations are sort of expected in a PSA. And it's a bit of a shame because it just recycles a lot of animations from Sonic. Not even from other characters, which is kind of a usual thing, but Sonic's. But yeah, that's basically my verdict on this Shadow. You know, to sort of address something to a lot of the people that comment on Masaklo's video. There are other hacks out there, and there's lots of great ones too. This game has been hacked the heck out of. It's really great what people have done in this game. Lots of vertexes, models. There's more than just Shadow, and I genuinely feel that you can enjoy a lot of the stuff that people have to offer. You know, just take the time to look. Maybe you should even try out characters you don't know. That's what I've been doing. Heck, half the vertexes that I've downloaded are of characters that I never even knew of. Like last battle. No, the Sora one even. That Lelouch by Arfire from Code Geass, I don't know how to pronounce it. I have no idea who that character is, but I downloaded it anyway because it looked great. And there are other PSAs as well that you can download and check out even if you don't know the character. You know, just widen the scope a little bit. It's a great fun game, Happy Brawl. But props to Masaklo on making the pack. I will definitely credit him, give him credit for, you know, the big pack that he's done. You know how he's done all the interface hacks. There are a couple missing, but they're sort of small ones, like the name. And the voice pack was a major thing. The David is, for you Shadow fans out there, it's of David Humphrey, not Jason Griffith. For my Shadow, I plan on doing a Jason Griffith voice pack as well as David Humphrey. But yeah, it's of the David Humphrey, which is from the voice from Sonic Adventure 2. A lot of people prefer that one. I don't really mind. And now, we are concluding the battle. And that's the final blow. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. And, you know, check out my other stuff, check out my other reviews, and I will see you guys later.